You're live. Oh, goodness. Let's see how many I can roust out of bed tonight. Hey, there's somebody in. Howdy. Might well get my eyeballs. There's 3 of you now. Howdy and howdy and howdy. Oh, 4th one. Boy, y'all didn't take long now. There's 5. Well, just dadgummit. Who we got on here with me? Warwick, what's up, brother? TMB, y'all are becoming my faithful ones, ain't you? Oh, what a day. Appreciate the thumbs up. We ain't even started yet. I am sitting down here just south of Temple, Texas. What up, Jim? Yeah, it's been a rough day today. Shane, howdy. Did you get some yard work done? Ah, that was your thumbs up. Well, thank you, brother. There's 2 more to match it now. They had a shooting in Dallas today, and somewhere up there by 75. What up, runner? Up there on 75 area where I was coming down, killed 2 cops. So I guarantee you the cops were all over the place, and there was a few vehicles floating around with lights going that you never thought was cops. So I bet you they was Rangers. Oh, it's rush hour anyway, so you can't hardly hurt traffic. What are you gonna do? Make them go faster? And I got a noisy truck over here, so I've got this window up. Hopefully that one will take the smoke out. I ain't had no dinner yet. I'm just sitting here winding down a little bit. Grandma done told me good night. So I figured I'd just go live and harass y'all. Only 1 cop confirmed dead. Yeah, but he shot 2, didn't he? That's what I was told. Buddy of mine was listening to it on his scanner. He got some app where he downloaded a scanner on his phone. So, you guys it? I assume that's her. So 2 shot and 1 confirmed dead. See, now this would be where it would be real easy for me to call him a liberal. Because if you ever notice that most of these shootings like this, they turn out to lean towards the left a lot. So I will be curious to see what they say. Oh, goodness. That Tennessee shooting, they caught that boy. He's another nutcase. Had done had his guns taken away from him. They was given to his dad. Of course, they're automatically hollering that his dad might be in trouble. Well, sure, he might be, but how about let's finding out if the boy broke into Dad's house and stole the guns back. No. One of the AR that he used was one of them that they had took from him. Has anybody heard what weapon this guy in Dallas used? And you know, just because it looks like an AR, you know, they've got them ARs now where you can get them chambered in any size of round. One of the most popular is a 22. So where they call it a weapon of war, as an old jarhead, I'll tell you now, I don't want to go to war with a 22. I want to reach out there and talk to somebody. 22 don't do that. Had a young individual that I know, he's a veteran, and the place that he's living at, he's not allowed to have any weapons. Nobody is. Let's see. Mexican got loose in the woods behind Home Depot, still on the loose. Okay, well, I heard that he was on the run, driving up the northbound service road of 75 over there. But that's supposedly what the scanner had said. So anyway, this old boy had asked a friend of his to hold on to a rifle, a hunting rifle he has. It's a 30-30 pump. Plain simple, it's a hunting rifle. Don't look nothing like a weapon of war. So he told his buddy that he wanted to get it back, and after these last couple of shootings, the guy didn't give it back to him. He took it to the police department because this guy was a veteran and he wanted his gun back. The old boy wasn't totally nuts. I mean, he was mad, not nuts. I need to watch what I say there. Venom Sting, how are you doing this evening? Me, I'm tired. I'm always tired. I had a little bit of time left on my clock today. I just barely... You're on a breakdown? I'm on my 10-hour break. Where I'm at, I had barely an hour left to drive on my 11. I was going to force me to take my 30-minute break, so that wouldn't, I only had an hour left of my 14, so that would have left me in a half hour to drive. Where I'm at, there ain't no place to get in a half hour, and it ain't worth it. So I'm on my way to Laredo. Old Jim Bob. And Jim Dunn, he likes being called Cowboy Jim Bob now. He saw a cow, so now he's a cowboy. Well, now he didn't get close to it, but he saw one. Oh. Oil leak and no AC in Arizona. Well, that ain't good. What part of Arizona? That's the last time that I had a major breakdown with Arizona. What's going on, Jamie? My boy was telling me today that he was going to help me get that tablet fixed where I could do these things on the tablet. Phoenix, it gets plenty warm there. About 3 years ago, I was down there, and where I was at, I don't remember what truck stop I was at, but a lot of, well, thanks for joining, but a lot of the trainers down there from a local training school would come through. You're in Indianapolis. You ain't broke down too, are you? So I got talking to one of the trainers, and we talked 2 or 3 times actually over the course of the night. And he was trying to recruit me to be an instructor for their school, which the pay was okay, but he got telling me, because it was late of a night, and I'm like, what in the world are y'all doing? He's like, dude, he says, this asphalt gets to be about 130 degrees down here at certain times of the year. He says, and we have literally had the students melt their bottoms off their shoes. And you want me to move here? And I've been out there when it was plenty hot, but dadgum. And that's what got my boy started on him trying to get me in as an instructor at some school. Nope, headed back to Coldwater, Michigan terminal from Louisville. What a deal. Actually, that dry heat out there is what a lot of the doctors back in the day recommended. When, what was it, TB that was going so bad? What was it Doc Holliday had? That's why he went out west. And I agree with you. That dry, hot, that'll cook you inside out. Breaking news. They just caught the Dallas shooter at the corner of Lemon and somewhere else. Well, with him shooting a couple of cops, I wonder how bad he's going to have walking issues getting to jail. Well, you know, a lot of times they fall. I'm just south of Temple, Texas, about an hour north of Austin at a rest area. Running out of time and hours. On my way to Laredo. Let's see, I'm less than 300 miles, but not much less. 292 miles. But I'm going to cheat. I can take that 130 around. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'll get down here another 15-20 miles and I'll catch 130 and I'll go around to Austin and San Antonio and all that crazy mess. I don't know what it costs, but the boss can pay it. That nonsense down there, if I don't have to go through it, I don't. Been there, done that. And taking 130 around to 10 out there and cutting back over, for going down to Laredo, it adds on less than 20 miles. And I don't know how much time it'll save me, probably a couple hours. So, me and the boys been doing some homework on that business deal. I'd made contact with my insurance people and they'll be able to insure me or insure the company. We're debating on letting part of it out of the bag to y'all. We'll see here in the next couple of days. Might give y'all a heads up and a chance to get in on it a little bit early if you want. And that is two-folded. It'll save you some money and it'll help me generate some money so that I can make it happen. Is that wrong of me to do that? Y'all be honest. I'll tell you little bits about it once me and him make the final decision, but I can't tell you all the tricks of the trade. It's too easy to be stolen. Then I'm sitting here looking at these trucks that have pulled through, and they leave a half a truck length in between them. That one left almost enough room to get in between. But they do this stuff, and all they're thinking about is making it as easy as possible for them to get out, which leave yourself a way out, I understand. But dadgum, between these three trucks here, they could leave a lot less space and create another 1 or 2 parking spots. Oh, I don't get it. We was in that Dallas traffic this evening. Now, I'd passed this slow truck. He caught up to me in the traffic because I slowed down in that traffic. There was a day that I had to get through it as quickly as possible. And this slow truck that I'd passed, and I don't remember the name, it wasn't no big company. It wasn't one of the mega carriers. When he went by me, he was less than 4 foot off the rear end of this little bitty car. There is no way he could even see his brake lights. If he had one of the brake lights up in the back window, he might have seen that. I just shook my head. You do stuff like that and you're scaring people. They get panicky and you don't know what a panicked person's going to do. And there's no way he was going to be able to stop. But even if that brake light did light up, there is no way he could have stopped. And why in the world would you be that tight? And we was running probably 60. Now, a lot of y'all know how Dallas is. It's bumper to bumper. And thick as all get out, and he's right on him. I just backed out of it a little bit, and I let him get on up there. I was going to witness the accident. I didn't want to be a part of it, which did not happen, thank God. So, I didn't realize that. Whenever somebody does a Facebook post, I knew it would flash on my stuff if I was on, but I didn't know it would do it if I was on the live stream. I made a few of them mad. They disappeared. They must have been, they're dropping like flies. Woohoo! I must have said something that got on a nerve or two, huh? Well, if you drive like that, I'll call you out on it. I can't help it. It ain't right. No. It ain't nothing but an accident waiting to happen. Well, what y'all want to chat about tonight? You dozen that are left. 11. Dropping like flies. Oh, goodness. Come on. Let's interact a little bit. Y'all talk at me now. Don't make me do all the work here. Oh. Well, yeah, I didn't do an impressive amount of miles today. I got out over 500, but Jim, I don't know what mile marker I'm at. I wasn't real worried about it at the time, but I'm somewhere in here. The latest projects at the house, I ain't never seen no lot lizards here, and I've slept here 3 or 4 times. Actually, I've been dealing with a gas company. I have a pipeline that runs across my property, and they're getting ready to upgrade it. And they came by doing all kinds of work and spotting the line and doing their measurements and all the stuff that they do before they dig it up and put in a new one. They had a guy coming by last week, stopped and talked to Grandma, and and they're wanting if y'all have watched any of my videos from my house up by the road, the street, I have two big pine trees. They want to take those two out, which they wanted to take them out back when they put it in, and the previous owners, they literally fought them in court and won. And I have a patapa tree there in my yard. They want to take it out. They want to cut my fence up. I've got that oil-filled piping for my fence with chain link on it. They want to cut a big section of it out and all the way across the front. Now that they'll put back. And when they stopped and was talking to Grandma, she allowed that she wasn't real worried about them taking them pine trees. And he's like, oh, we ain't gonna have to smoke more than you do. Well, you need to cut back. She didn't mind them taking it out because she don't like the pine cones and all that stuff. Dunkerton, Iowa. Well, what's going on in Dunkerton, Iowa? So I called that old boy today. She had told him that she didn't have a problem with it, but I might, and that he'd probably hear from me. She was right, and he heard from me. We're trying to hash out an agreement for them wanting to tear up all my stuff. So, and he was telling me how wide their easement was there. And I was like, damn, that's right in my front door. Literally. Well, I don't know how close. It don't matter. You do that 30 foot off that gas line and that's going to be all but in my front door. Well, yeah, they will, to a degree. Now, I threw a proposal at him, an offer at him, and I'm not going to try to be greedy and hold a gun on them and all that. That ain't me. However, I do want a fair deal. So, I told him what I wanted, and he agreed that that was reasonable, but he ain't the one to put the final say-so on it. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. So, it is what it is. Other than that, here in the next couple of weeks, Grandma's roses up there by the front fence, I got to dig them up and replant them. What's going on, Grant? You doing all right tonight, brother? We have a tree, I forget what it's called, the Texas Star or Star of Texas or something, that the wife's brother's wife gave her as a housewarming gift when we first moved in. So now I'm going to have to dig that rascal up, move it. And I ain't sure where we're going to move them to. But we definitely have to dig them up and move them if we want to keep them. And I also did tell him that if we reach this agreement, he could have them 2 pine trees without the court battle that they had to go through before. I said, but now I want it understood that you are going to remove the whole damn stump and fill it with dirt, right? Because I've learned the hard way that a lot of the stump grinder that I had and the people I talked to, it's common practice, they just come out and grind that stump and leave the millings in there, and that leaves a soft spot in your yard for a long time. So I don't want that. I got plenty of them soft spots. Let's see. When me, Stormy, you and Miss Rold and Michael gonna have dinner at Charlie's? pretty decent food. They do all right there. You never know when Michael's going to be in. He stays out for weeks, if not months on end. When are you and Stormy going to come down our way? Now you know where the place is at. Y'all make the weekend drive down and I'll buy dinner. See how nice I am? Although if you want to eat at Charlie's instead of my barbecue, you're missing out. But that's all right. I'll buy Charlie's. Oh. Of course, Stormy's going to be mad at you when she finds out that you gave up on the barbecue. Another reason why she shouldn't have married a damn Yankee. Oh. No, you don't have to. Grandma Rose would be there. So, she's a little bit fond of me. She said she likes me a little bit. That's why she married me. Oh. Oh, goodness. Now, I'm thinking about just having me a couple of bologna sandwiches for dinner. I've got some macaroni and cheese back there. Got a pork and bean or two back there. I might have one or the other of them with a couple of sandwiches. Well, I do have that pork loin that I cooked Sunday. Stormy, you're going to have to try that one, honey. The broths that I put in there, they did not brown. Alright? They stayed as white as when you put them in there. But it was good. The only part I've had so far of it was a taste the other night when I was dishing it up and making sure it was done. Cooking in that sauerkraut like that, I mean, everything was as tender, just fall apart. The bratwurst, that's what I was fixing to tell Stormy, they didn't brown. And I had a spork, you know, one of them fork spoon combination things. I've got some of them back there. I was literally cutting them brats apart with that. I mean, just stick it, twist it, pow. It just popped right apart. That's pretty tender. The pork loin was so tender that I had to cut it a little bit thicker than I really wanted to, or else it just crumbled. So, and that was with a good knife. But I done told Grandma I got a craving for a stew, so I'm gonna fix me a stew this weekend. I don't know what else, but a stew. My Italian guy, Timothy, he shared some recipes in a messenger on the Facebook page. I haven't had a chance to read them yet, but there's some authentic Italian recipes. So when I get a chance, me and Grandma's going to go over them and see if we want to give them a whirl. And it's not pizza, and he's not a big fan of pasta either. So we'll see what he put up there. And I do know he did some brown rice, which I like brown rice. So we'll see what he's got up there for us to try. And you know, once we try, we'll let y'all know. My Burton stove did work in the truck. After I stopped here, I went ahead and jumped back there and I plugged it in, and it's working in the truck. So that little critter I had at the house just was not giving it enough juice for it to work at the house. So maybe I'll give that a whirl and fix up a little bit of something to bring out here and cook out here for y'all. Oh, just to show you, it'll be a short one, and I might have to do it in a couple of different videos and then have the son combine them together. So, ain't nothing but a thing. I probably ought to learn how to do that myself. So, alright, Frank. Have a good evening yourself, brother. Be safe. Get you lots of rest. I ain't too far from you. I just came on to harass people a few minutes. Fixing to grab me a bite to eat. Call it a night myself. So, it is what it is. I got to get up early in the morning and get with it. With them running me down to Laredo this late in the week, I have to stay on top of my game in order to get home this weekend. And right now, if it works out the way I'm hoping it will, I'll be back at the yard Thursday night, sometime late Thursday. And hopefully they'll have me a run heading straight to the house, so that way I'll get home Friday. And yes, I did mention that to the dispatch, so he knows that's what I'm looking for. Now, if that's what happened, that's a whole different ballgame. So, I notice it keeps fluctuating on how many people, so I assume that that is their signal and not mine. I can't know that. Let me look at this one. Well, it's showing full bars on the tablet. What the heck? Well, folks, if there ain't something particular you want to talk about or ask, I'm fixing to sign off here and get me some dinner and call it a day, just because I quit using some of the other language. Go ahead and start typing. Oh, Jim, you never did say, did you get some yard work done today? Or did you not do it so Stormy would whoop your legs with a switch? More likely the latter. He said, go ahead and strap them legs with that switch, Mama. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, folks. I'm gonna get off here myself. I just wanted to pop in and say howdy. So, howdy. Remember, the good Lord loves each and every one of us. I love y'all too. You're what makes this channel a success. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Those that are trucking, be safe. Good night. Supposed to go up.